Now, usually every year, roughly around this time, I always make a video about whether or not I think Star Citizen is worth it. Now, I'm a little bit jaded this year because, and for all credit, it's been a pretty bad year for Star Citizen. It hasn't really developed very far, and I'm out of breath already. It's not doing so well. However, just because Star Citizen itself might not be doing so well or the development is slow, it shouldn't really have a major impact on whether or not I think the game is worth playing. Because every year when I do this, I always treat it for exactly what it is. No speculation, no hyperbolics, we're not going to talk about future patches, just what's available now and what's available to play today. So what exactly is available nowadays? Well, we're at patch 3.20. Believe it or not, yes, not a number I'd ever thought I'd say. 4.0 still looks like it's going to be a long way away. But yes, 3.20. And like they say, with every grey cloud, there is a silver lining. And speaking of clouds, boy, does 3.20 look absolutely gorgeous. These aren't brand new to 3.20, but they are brand new to ArcCorp and Lorville, and frankly, I am amazed. But pretty graphics will only get you so far. So, in terms of gameplay, what actually is there to do? Well, 3.20 introduces and also improves upon a lot of the pre-existing content you may be familiar with. From mining all the way up to the brand new hull refactor, which basically means that you can just take apart ships and remove things from their, well, ships. You can also take advantage of the fantastic new cargo grid system, allowing you to transport cargo more effectively, easily, and, well, without as many bugs as before. Maybe? That is still yet to be seen by my own eyes. I am experimenting with the new salvage mechanic as we speak, and so far it's an absolutely great way to just lie back and chill. Because that is what 3.20 is all about. It's not really exciting, but it is very, very good. It's really hard to say. Again, this hasn't been the best year for Star Citizen, and I would like to have seen a lot more since last year. But to be fair to this whole video and the point of what this is all about, the game itself, Star Citizen 3.20, as long as it works for you, no real complaints from me. In terms of gameplay libs for the persistent universe, I've already mentioned trading, something that I used to do a lot back in the day. It's quite enjoyable now again with that refactor, with the current prices of certain commodities, especially the not so good for you ones. You can make a lot of money very, very quickly, which in itself is great for people that don't want to invest too much time, and is also great for those that want to spend lots of time being able to buy pretty much everything available. Because don't forget, you can buy ships in-game now, and that's what I recommend everyone do. You've also got salvage, you've also had mining for quite a while now, and more importantly, down my field of street, you've got combat. So let's speak a little bit about combat. Most of you probably know me from my 3.14 video, which talked all about the refactor and the changes to spaceship combat. That video was really popular, 30-something thousand views. But that was a long time ago. And although completely relevant from a tutorial basis, because, well, the features released in 3.14 in that video are still used today, now with 3.20, they are introducing master modes. I'm not going to get into a great big deal here about what master modes is because, and I know this breaks my rule for this video, it's not actually implemented yet fully. It's only on a few select ships, the Gladius for now, but it is something that you can try over in Arena Commander, which had its own massive array of changes this patch. We'll get into more of that very shortly. Master Modes has basically solved a lot of the major problems with space combat. You can no longer zoom and boom, which used to be the crux of everyone's enjoyment, I think, especially as it was for me anyway. Now, with Master Modes, you can choose between traveling and traversal mode and combat mode. Basically, the speed of your ship, the effectiveness of your guns, the way your ship maneuvers, it all changes depending on the mode that you're in. I think this is CR and SIG's idea to really narrow down combat to be purposeful and to have risk as well as reward. I think it will also shape up, eventually, to make different ships like interceptors actually stand out for their job role. For now, I think this is mostly a Gladius and Squadron 42 thing, but do keep your eye on it and try it out in the Arena Commander special mode. Give your thoughts, let me know in the comments down below what you think of master modes. Now, like I said, let's get back to a few other things Arena Commander specific. As you can probably tell, it's had a massive visual overhaul with a whole new range of menus and options to choose from. It's also been streamlined into a sort of game mode centric hub. That way, there's no longer a Star Marine separate section. It's all contained within Arena Commander, the way the visionaries at the very beginning of this whole debacle of 10 years of development originally designed it to be. You've got some experimental modes which are changing every now and then. The developers decide which ones are available when. Unfortunately, you can't always play your favorites, but my preferred game modes, Star Marine and the FPS-centric ones, they are always around. The special game modes, though, encased within that, like Gun Game, which has its own massive variety of issues, not available always. But I guess that's no problem because, well, for the first time ever, the game lobby seemed to actually be packed with players. How long that lasts for, I just don't know, because it's really up to SIG to keep those servers healthy and to make sure there are no unwarranted bugs or major issues. Right now, you can probably see on screen that my hands are glowing a hot yellow. I can't control this. I guess that now that we've discussed what's available to do in the PU, what's available to do outside of that in Arena Commander, etc., there's only a few small things to really talk about. And again, a lot of the things like weapon balance and mechanics, I'm all going to get into in a separate video later on. But for now, let's just go over a sort of hot takes. FPS weapons, they're in a better place than they used to be. They aren't as obtuse as they were, and some of them have had some absolutely drastic changes I can't wait to discuss in a further video, probably a truth behind FPS weapons part 3. I've got so many of those videos, man, it's ridiculous. The ships themselves are in a rather well-balanced state right now. Unfortunately, like I said, Master Mode is only an experimental build in Arena Commander with a Gladius, but the health of the PvP combat in space is better. Torpedoes aren't as ridiculous as you may have remembered them being in past patches. The commodities and the ability to make money, as mentioned earlier, it exists and it's doing really quite well. For how long though, I just don't know. So if you want to get in there and earn some credits and purchase those ships you've always been after, I recommend doing that sooner rather than later. And speaking of recommending things, let's talk about the game. Do I recommend the game? It's a real hard question. CitizenCon is just around the corner, less than a month away by the time you're watching this, and maybe if you're watching this after CitizenCon, it's already been and done. CitizenCon is of course a celebration of the game and its history and its development, the company and the people that play it. We love this game, I love this game, and as jaded as I might be, as mentioned in the beginning, there are so many things to like about Star Citizen. Even more so if you're a new player, brand new to this spanking game. If you're a returning player, however, I think the question of whether or not you should be playing really does boil down to what it is you want to do. If you're an old miner and you just love going about the place and mining those minerals, I'm afraid to say that you might find that nothing has changed for you, and the game is exactly the same as it was. If you're a trader, however, you may benefit from this. So if you're a miner who wants to implement a bit more adventure into your everyday activities, you might find that adding some trading to this to be something you really enjoy, especially with friends. If you're into combat, whether that be HRTs or other bounty hunting missions, that hasn't changed at all. Bunkers have had a bit of an update, so if you enjoy risking everything down on foot, you can definitely do that and adventure the new wave modes, which sometimes don't always work, but often I think they do have a positive impact. If you specifically like to play the game modes outside of the PU a bit more, like me, then this might be the patch for you. Sadly, still no Theatres of War, but like I mentioned, Arena Commander is, well, it's popping, guys. There's loads of people playing. Get in there. Be with others. Help me play more games. Get me on top of that leaderboard. I do love Star Marine. It's a lot of fun. I probably won't see you in the traditional Arena Commander because I'm a terrible pilot, but you never know. With the changes, I might actually put some practice in. And maybe that's really all there is to talk about with 3.20. It is a clean patch that works with lots of things for you to get involved with, to practice. It isn't going to win back any hearts that have already dropped out. And if you did drop out of the project for any reason whatsoever, let me know down in the comments below, because I know that supporting a game like this can be quite tough, especially with the way that SIG and CR handle themselves. I really hope to see something enlightening at this year's CitizenCon, but you never know. So join me live on Twitch, sometimes during the week, but definitely for CitizenCon, where we will be going out and seeing what it is we can get ourselves into with a nice fun game of bingo. More on that to be revealed later. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I really can't wait to see you in the verse. Bye bye for now.